You could be destroying your memory right now, at this very moment, without even knowing it. In fact, the simple act of how you woke up this morning, what you had for breakfast, and even how you're sitting right now could be aging your brain by up to 12 years. Here's what's truly terrifying. Nearly 90% of adults over 50 are making these exact same mistakes every single day, and they're speeding up their cognitive decline by as much as 40%. But here's where it gets interesting. The difference between someone who stays mentally sharp at 85 and someone who can't remember their grandchildren's names at 65 isn't genetics. It's not about expensive supplements or complicated brain training programs either. It's about 3 specific habits you're probably doing wrong every single day. Habits so simple that when I tell you what they are, you won't believe something so basic could have such a massive impact on your brain.
I recently had a patient, Richard, 58 years old, successful businessman, came to me because he kept forgetting important meetings. He tried everything: memory supplements, brain games, even hired an assistant to remind him of everything. Nothing worked. But when we changed just 3 daily habits he'd been doing wrong for decades, his memory didn't just improve. His wife said it was like he became 20 years younger mentally. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you exactly what those 3 habits are and why they work when nothing else does. Look, as we age, our brains change. That's not news to anyone. But what most people don't realize is that after 50, your brain enters what we call the critical window, a period where your daily habits either accelerate or protect against cognitive decline. The choices you make during your 50s, 60s, and 70s literally determine whether you'll be that sharp, witty grandparent everyone loves talking to, or whether you'll struggle to remember why you walked into a room. The truth is, what worked in your 30s and 40s stops working after 50. Your brain's chemistry changes, your neurons communicate differently, and those old habits you've relied on for years, they're now working against you. But once you understand the science I'm about to share with you, you'll see why making these simple adjustments can mean the difference between mental clarity and cognitive fog. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening in your brain right now. Every morning, millions of people over 50 wake up and immediately make their first memory-destroying mistake. They reach for their phone, check their emails, scroll through news, and flood their brain with what neuroscientists call cognitive overload. Your brain, which just spent 7 to 8 hours consolidating memories and clearing out toxins, gets hit with a tsunami of information before it's even ready to process basic functions. You see, after 50, your brain's ability to filter information drops by about 30%. That means every notification, every headline, every text message isn't just information, it's an attack on your memory centers. Dr. Sarah Chen from Stanford's Memory Research Lab discovered something shocking in her 2022 study. People who checked their phones within 30 minutes of waking showed 43% more memory lapses throughout the day compared to those who waited just 1 hour. But it gets worse. You've been told that staying mentally active is good for your brain, right? Reading, puzzles, staying engaged with technology, all supposed to keep your mind sharp. Here's what they don't tell you. There's a massive difference between productive mental stimulation and destructive mental exhaustion. Most people over 50 are actually overstimulating their brains in the worst possible ways. Think about Margaret, a 62-year-old teacher I worked with. Sharp as a tack her whole life, never forgot a student's name in 35 years of teaching. But suddenly, she started forgetting simple things: where she parked her car, appointments she'd made, even her neighbor's name who she'd known for 15 years. She was terrified. It was early dementia. She was doing crossword puzzles every morning, reading 2 newspapers, watching educational programs, doing everything right according to conventional wisdom. But here's what was actually happening. Margaret's brain was drowning. See, your hippocampus, that's your brain's memory center, shrinks by about 1 to 2% per year after 50. That's normal. But when you bombard it with excessive information without giving it proper recovery time, that shrinkage accelerates to 3 to 4% per year. Margaret wasn't exercising her brain, she was exhausting it. Now here's where things get really interesting, and this is something that even most doctors don't fully understand yet. Your memory problems aren't actually starting in your brain, they're starting in your gut. I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me because this is going to blow your mind. Recent research from the University of Cork in Ireland found that 87% of your brain's serotonin, the neurotransmitter essential for memory formation, is actually produced in your gut. Not your brain, your gut. And after 50, your gut bacteria changes dramatically. The bacteria that help produce these brain chemicals decrease by up to 40%, while inflammatory bacteria increase by 60%. But here's the real kicker. The 3 habits that destroy your memory all have one thing in common. They disrupt the gut-brain axis. That morning fun checking I mentioned, it triggers a cortisol spike that kills beneficial gut bacteria. Eating breakfast at the wrong time, it disrupts your circadian rhythm, which controls both memory consolidation and gut bacteria balance. Even the way you sit throughout the day changes the blood flow to both your brain and digestive system.
Dr. Michael Brenner's groundbreaking 2023 research showed something remarkable. When adults over 50 corrected just 3 specific daily habits that restored their gut-brain connection, they didn't just stop memory decline, they actually reversed it. Participants showed an average 40% improvement in memory tests after just 12 weeks. Not from pills, not from expensive treatments, but from changing simple daily habits that most of us do completely wrong. The hidden truth is this: your brain at 50, 60, 70, even 80 still has incredible capacity to form new memories and stay sharp. The problem isn't age, it's that we're literally poisoning our memory systems with habits that worked fine when we were younger, but become toxic after 50.
So let me tell you exactly what you need to do starting tomorrow morning to protect and even enhance your memory. These aren't complicated changes, but the timing and the way you do them is everything. First, let's talk about your morning routine. When you wake up, your brain is in what's called the theta state. This is when your memory centers are most vulnerable, but also most adaptable. Instead of reaching for your phone, you need to do what I call the memory protection protocol. For the first 20 minutes after waking, no screens, no news, no input at all. Instead, drink 16 ounces of room temperature water with a 1/4 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt. Why this works? During sleep, your brain clears out beta amyloid proteins, the same proteins that cause Alzheimer's, but this process dehydrates your brain cells. That specific combination of water and minerals immediately rehydrates your neurons and helps flush out the remaining toxins. The salt contains 84 trace minerals that your brain needs for electrical signaling. Richard, the businessman I mentioned earlier, said this one change alone made him feel like a fog had lifted from his brain within just 3 days.
Second, and this is crucial, you need to eat your first meal within a very specific window, between 90 minutes and 2 hours after waking, not before, not after. Here's why this timing is so critical. Your cortisol naturally peaks about 90 minutes after waking. Eating before this peak disrupts the hormone cascade that protects your hippocampus. Eating too late misses the window when your gut bacteria are most active and ready to produce those memory-supporting neurotransmitters. But what you eat matters just as much as when. You need 3 specific things in that first meal: resistant starch, fermented foods, and omega-3 fatty acids. Let me give you the perfect example. Overnight oats made with Greek yogurt and topped with ground flaxseed and blueberries. The resistant starch in the cooled oats feeds the exact gut bacteria that produce GABA and serotonin for your brain. The Greek yogurt provides probiotics that cross the blood-brain barrier. The flaxseed gives you ALA omega-3s that your aging brain desperately needs but can't produce on its own. Third, and this might surprise you, between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. every day, you need to do what I call cognitive fasting. No reading, no problem solving, no intensive thinking for 15-20 minutes. This isn't meditation or napping, it's conscious mental rest
while staying awake. Sit comfortably, eyes open but unfocused, and let your mind wander without directing it.
Why this specific time? Your brain's glucose metabolism drops by about 20% in mid-afternoon. In younger people, the brain compensates. After 50, it doesn't. Those 15 to 20 minutes of cognitive fasting allows your hippocampus to consolidate the morning's memories without interference. It's like defragmenting a computer hard drive. Studies from Tokyo University showed that people who practiced afternoon cognitive fasting had 50% better recall of morning events compared to those who powered through. Let me tell you about Dorothy, 71 years old, retired nurse. She came to me because she kept forgetting her medications, which for someone with her medical background was deeply disturbing. We implemented these 3 changes: the morning protocol, the timed breakfast, and afternoon cognitive fasting. Within 6 weeks, not only was she remembering her medications, but she started learning Spanish, something she'd always wanted to do but thought her brain was too old for. Last month, she sent me a video of herself having a full conversation with her Spanish-speaking neighbor.
Now, let me tell you the 3 things you must stop doing immediately if you want to protect your memory. These are the habits that even health-conscious people get wrong, and they're absolutely destroying your cognitive function. First, stop taking your vitamins and supplements in the morning. This is where most people go completely wrong. Your liver, which processes these supplements, is already working overtime in the morning dealing with cortisol and blood sugar regulation. When you throw a handful of supplements at it, you create what's called metabolic competition. Your brain loses every time. Vitamins A, D, E, and K, the fat-soluble vitamins everyone over 50 should be taking, actually block memory formation when taken in the morning. They compete with the same pathways your brain uses to encode new memories. Take them with dinner instead. At night, your liver is in storage mode, and these vitamins actually enhance the memory consolidation that happens during sleep. One of my patients, a 64-year-old accountant, had been taking his vitamin D and fish oil every morning for 15 years. When we switched them to evening, his wife noticed he stopped repeating stories within just 2 weeks, something he'd been doing constantly.
Second, stop doing high-intensity exercise after 3 p.m. I know everyone tells you exercise is good for your brain, and it is, but timing is everything after 50. Late afternoon or evening intense exercise spikes cortisol and adrenaline right when your brain should be preparing for memory consolidation. Your hippocampus interprets this as danger and switches from memory mode to survival mode. That spinning class at 5 p.m., it's erasing memories from your day. That evening jog, it's preventing your brain from transferring short-term memories to long-term storage. Move your intense exercise to morning, ideally between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m., when your testosterone and growth hormone are naturally highest. This actually enhances memory formation for the rest of the day. Third, and this is the big one, stop sleeping with any light in your room. I mean any light. Not just your phone or TV, but alarm clocks, chargers, even lights seeping under your door. After 50, your pineal gland, which produces melatonin, becomes hypersensitive to light. Just 10 lux of light, that's less than a candle from across the room, reduces melatonin production by 50%.
But here's what nobody tells you. Melatonin isn't just for sleep. It's crucial for moving memories from temporary storage to permanent storage. It's also the most powerful antioxidant for your brain cells. Every night you sleep with even minimal light, you're preventing your brain from properly filing away the day's memories. You wake up feeling like you've forgotten something because you literally have. Your brain couldn't complete the memory storage process. Look, I've just shared with you information that took decades of research to understand, and that most people will never learn. The connection between your daily habits and memory isn't just correlation, it's causation. Every morning you wake up and check your phone immediately. Every afternoon you push through mental fatigue. Every night you sleep with light in your room. You're actively destroying your brain's ability to form and keep memories. But here's the beautiful truth.
Your brain is incredibly resilient. Even if you're 60, 70, or 80 years old, these changes can start working within days. Remember Richard? 6 months after implementing these changes, he's not just remembering meetings, he's outperforming colleagues half his age. Margaret isn't just remembering her neighbor's name, she's back to remembering every student she ever taught. Here's my bonus tip for you, something I only share with my private patients. Every Sunday evening, write down 3 specific memories from the week. Not events, but sensory memories. What did something smell like? How did something feel? What exact words did someone say? This simple practice strengthens your hippocampus's encoding ability by up to 35%. It's like weight training for your memory centers.
The choice is yours. You can continue with habits that are silently eroding your memory, or you can make these simple changes and join the 10% of people over 50 who actually get sharper with age. Start with just one change tomorrow morning. Don't check your phone for the first 20 minutes. That's it. Then add one new change each week. Which of these memory-destroying habits surprised you the most? Are you guilty of taking your vitamins in the morning or sleeping with light in your room? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one, and I want to know what you're struggling with. And if you think your memory issues might actually be connected to something you're eating every day, you need to watch my next video right here, where I reveal the 5 foods everyone over 50 is eating that are literally shrinking your brain. Number 3 on that list is probably in your kitchen right now, and when you find out what it's doing to your neurons, you'll never eat it again. Click here to watch that video now, and I'll see you there.